Hey everyone, Annette Dion here. How are you doing? It's Thursday. It is April 30th. It's the last day of April. I was just thinking about this song. Okay, so this is the energy of the day. I love Prince. So, yeah, things are a little nuts. So, sometimes you just need to do some like comic relief, and like a friend of mine just cracked me up. Like I was belly laughing. It was just something that happened. It was so hilarious. And then I was watching He Who Shall Not Be Named on TV. It was kind of like a press conference sort of thing. I miss Prince too. And he wasn't making any sense. So that's what made me think of the song Crazy by Prince. Anyway, so what I'm wanting to tell you is that it's kind of exciting when things come together in a different way, in a new way. And sometimes it's forced upon us and we don't like it. And it's hard for a certain segment of the population right now, harder than it is for others. And our thoughts and prayers go out to those that are having a rough time. Those of us that are doing okay, real important to hold the space, to hold the energy down, to really know that when you send positive energy, when you're peaceful, when you're strong, when you can hold the space of it's all going to be okay, which is what the guides told me at the very beginning. It's going to be okay. We are seeing some breakthroughs in terms of treatment for this situation. But I just want to say, I don't want to say don't get your hopes up. I just want to say I get this sense of it's going to take a long time for that to come to fruition. So there's a tendency for the news to want to like grab on to the next news story as soon as it comes up. Believe it or not, there used to be a day that there was a time that you had news twice a day. If you can imagine that. But you know, these networks are under pressure to get the breaking news first and to make a big story out of it. And I just want to tell you that treatment that they're talking about, that's kind of like when the HIV virus was really prevalent, and then they started gradually getting drugs to treat it, not necessarily to prevent it. I'm not seeing a vaccine for till next year, actually. So I'm looking at this with like cautious optimism. Anyway, I'm distracted by this great guitar solo. Yeah, check out Prince, man. Guy had it going on. Something special. So, I'm going to pick an angel card. And I do feel everything changing. It's happening faster than we realize. I think that it's getting to a tipping point where a lot of the world's population has kind of adjusted, I don't think is the right word, has kind of leaned into what's going on, and that is making it a little bit more digestible, and it's making it easier to actually accept that the truth is that things actually have changed. And I feel like people are getting it now. Not the virus as much as, people are getting the virus too, but they're getting that something really big is occurring on their watch. I truly believe that the souls that are on the planet right now, because our souls know stuff, our souls know that we came to the planet at this time, we incarnated to be alive during these times for certain reasons. And some of us have actually been in lifetimes where we faced this kind of thing before, and we didn't always make it. So I feel like personally I have been in that kind of, my soul's been in that kind of situation before. So, and this time we need to get it right. That's what I want to say about that. Let's pick an angel card. And if anybody has any questions about what's going on, just, you know, if you want to get a reading, AnnetteDion7@gmail.com. I'm getting a lot of information for people lately, and if you need your questions answered, just send me an email. We'll figure out a time to do a reading and work it out, because we're getting a lot of downloads and guidance, and I mean, collectively, we're all getting a lot of information. If you can get quiet, there's a lot coming in that's going to help you navigate through. When you're freaking out, that's not guidance, and it's hard to get guidance when you're stressed. Guidance always comes in a peaceful way. So, let's see what the angel has to say. I got this, I got the spiritual growth card. It looks similar. This is the answered prayer card, and you know, that's kind of what I'm saying when I'm saying there's a lot of information coming in there. You know, I feel like sometimes the guides have more to say than other times, and I think it's more that so many people are asking so many questions, and when you ask your angels and your guides, you always get an answer. Always. Don't ever think that you don't. You just kind of have to look for it. Sometimes they drop subtle hints and symbols and clues. So our prayers are being answered, so keep them going. Really important. A lot of people are praying way more than they were before, that's for sure. We're all going to be okay. You know, there are reasons to be hopeful. That's what the angels want you to know. There are reasons to be hopeful. Don't forget to readjust your sails. It's like you're in a boat and the wind has changed. Readjust your sails. That's all. That's nature. That's the way it works. All right. So 3 cards about from, gosh, I keep thinking it's Wednesday. From Thursday to Friday. Today, I think I was a little premature yesterday in saying the moon was in Leo. It was on its way to being in Leo, but I was feeling that fiery energy. It's in Leo now, and there are going to be a lot of changes happening that feel like stricter rules, stricter guidelines, stricter laws, and be cognizant of the fact that you might be able, I'm just getting this message, you might get in a fear state that it's going to be too restrictive. I'm not sure why that's coming up, but I feel like the hammer's coming down on some things. So you may find that governors opt for err on the side of being more cautious after all, even though they have been talking about opening up. I feel like there's going to be an increase really soon of more guidelines and restrictions. So don't worry about that. That's okay. It's just that I'm seeing a little more like explosions, eruptions of more cases. What do they call them? Hot spots. Very soon. And it's going to cause people to panic a little bit, and the governors are going to kind of say, well, this is going to last a little longer than we said before, and we got to all be really, really careful. I want to say, for some reason, that if somebody is in a safe situation where there's no people around at all, they don't have to wear a mask. It's just logical, right? I hate seeing people finding a reason to be angry being that somebody's not wearing a mask when the person is 35 feet away from any other being outside in the wide open air. That's all I want to say is, like, we can trust people to be smart. Not everyone's an idiot. I'm sorry, I see people, like, this is what I want to say about that. I see people, like, kind of like stirring up fights when there's no need for that. It's, you know, come on people, let's get along, you know, let's be like, we didn't used to be such a bickering society. I don't know what happened. Probably social media. All right, so, oh, well, these are pretty good cards today. The Hangman. Now, I got answered prayer, and that means, you know, when you say your prayer, You don't have to keep worrying about the thing that you're praying about. When you say your prayer, faith means you just go, I prayed about that already. Okay, that's done. You know, when you give it to the angels, that means they're going to take it and fly away with it and, you know, deliver. Like going to a restaurant, like we used to. And, you know, or getting takeout and you put your order in and then you don't worry about it. You just wait till it arrives. So that's what it's like, you know, answered prayer. When you pray, know that the prayer will be answered and don't hang on to it. You know what I mean? There's a part of praying that's called like letting go and having faith. Okay, the hangman, that has to do with surrender. It's exactly what I'm talking about. There's a part of praying that is faith, and this just means after you ask the angels or God or whoever you pray to, it's different for different people, there's a very important part of the process, which is letting go and surrendering. So there it is. The world, we're going to be back. I know that he who shall not be named like is threatening to just like disassociate from the WHO. I feel like calmer, saner heads prevail, and that I see us back in. Not exactly sure what's going to happen around that, but I see us back in. And I feel us being kind of forced into it in a way. So be aware that the World Health Organization is going to have something to say in the very near future. And the King of Swords, actually this doesn't seem real positive. What I'm seeing here is, and I'll pick a clarifier card, the fourth card. The King of Swords, this is showing me some fighting. I feel like this is showing me Biden and he who shall not be named fighting. There's a fight that's going to ensue, but I think Biden's going to win. And I don't really mean the election. I mean something else. Because I'm only talking about the next 24 hours. I feel like, you know, there's some accusations coming against Biden, but I feel like he's going to win. It happened a long time ago. I'm totally not justifying any, you know, behavior that was not appropriate with a female. However, I see him kind of winning, like making amends and winning. So, men, that's all. I'm not going to get into it. One more. The Chariot, it's going to be over quickly. It's going to be a fight that they get into, but Biden's going to come out on top of that fight. He's going to come out winning that little bickering battle. Gosh, there sure is a lot of bickering around. But the Chariot means fast-moving energy and communication around that. So that's going to be fine. He who shall not be named is falling fast and furious and losing his mind. We're talking insanity. So anyway, that's it for today, Thursday, April 30th. Happy Beltane to all my Wiccan friends and all of you. Happy May Day. It's a very powerful time, and it's a time to plant seeds and to celebrate flowers and nature and spring. Even though it doesn't feel like it in New England, it's still cold and dark and rainy. I love you all. Namaste. See you tomorrow.